Hi, I'm Julia McEwen, style and beauty editor at Canadian Living magazine, and we're here at the very trendy Langton Salon. And we're going to show you how you can transition your day makeup into an evening, glamorous, show-stopping look in just moments. So we're going to show you some tips on how you can add some drama to your daytime look. And I'm lucky enough to be joined here with makeup artist and guru extraordinaire, Gregory Graveline, and he's a freelance makeup artist, and he's going to show us the tricks of the trade on how to amplify the look into a radiant evening look.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned transitioning, because a lot of people feel they need to go and wash their face off and start over again. And it actually can be a benefit to leave your day makeup on and just add to it. You know, we're going to talk generally about strengthening your makeup, making the lights lighter and the darks darker, because usually an evening makeup involves being seen in lower lighting conditions. We have several ways of doing that. I do like that general rule about, 2 things on your face, not 3, maybe eyes and cheeks, but a soft lip or another combination. So looking at Kat, she's got beautiful, beautiful eyes. I think maybe we should pump those up a little bit, and we'll keep a soft lip. We'll pull out some, I'm just going to work in browns, just to show you what brown can do. You don't always have to use a lot of color to have a really beautiful makeup. It's more about how you apply it than the colors you choose sometimes. Kat has really beautiful green hazel eyes, and I'm going to use browns that have a little bit of a pink in them, because that'll just pop that. You usually want to work with the opposite color of your eyes to bring them out, so that you're not competing. All right, so we're going to give Kat a really nice smoky evening eye. I'm going to just put a little bit of a light base color on. Maybe pump it up a little stronger under her brow bone, just to give a highlight thereafter when we're done. Here it's got a little bit of a glow. It's not quite frosted, but it does have a little bit of a reflection. And then we'll take a nice soft brown and we'll just darken the lid evenly all over. There we go. And I'm going to switch over to a smaller brush. I'm going to run the same color right under her eye, sort of a fat, smoky line. And that sort of envelops the entire eye in that one color. And I like the sort of soft, wide line, because it makes the eye kind of spill out and look bigger right away. And now what I'm going to do is look down. I'm going to start adding some dark in the corner. I'm almost working in that little triangle on the outer corner of the eye and just blending it in. If you're unsure of yourself, start off with a small amount of shadow and just keep adding to it, picking up again from your palette. It'll just get darker and darker. Shadow builds up on itself very nicely. And I'm going to take this same dark color and I'm going to run it right against her lashes. And this is where that wide line underneath comes into play, because instead of going from a fair skin color to a hard dark line, we've gone from sort of soft to medium to dark, and you get that nice blended smoky look. And I'm just going to take a soft brush now and actually blend those two together. Beautiful. And look down. I'll put some liner on just so we can see the effect, and I'll show you how to apply eyeliner in a really easy, effective way. I'm a big fan of doing it with eyeshadow and a small triangular brush like that. And what's nice about that, look down, Kat, is rather than drawing a line across in one motion, you can actually just sort of tap it into place like that using the flat side of the brush, almost like you're connecting hyphens. A lot of people feel safer and more confident with a pencil in their hand. The only drawback to that is pencils, there's usually a lot of beeswax and those kinds of emollient products in them. They tend to melt with your body heat and slide around, so you find your pencil that you had on your top lashes underneath your eye by the end of the day, or the end of the evening, as it were. Pump up the mascara a little bit, especially on the outer lashes. Remember, the most important place is to get your mascara in at the root, not so much the tips, because mascara, in a way, look straight ahead for me, that's your best eyeliner. That really defines the edge of your eye, gives you that nice clean rim. I think it's a much more kind of awake looking eye when you just have it on the top. It tends to draw your focus upwards. Again, shape is very personal, but if we wanted to, we've kind of stuck to Kat's eye shape here. We can certainly take this and drag it out a little bit more if we want. If you want to go for a full-on ode to the disco era and give Kat a cat eye. And that's just a variation of the same look. There you go. Sometimes we forget about the eyebrows, and those are a really important beauty feature. They really define where your eye is and is responsible for a lot of the expression in your face. For evening, what's really nice is to maybe add a little bit of weight, clean up that line, and even extend them a little bit. Something about a long brow gives a feeling of elegance. We're just going to take a nice brown that kind of, usually if we can pull the hair color into the brow, that's always a nice option too. It just sort of brings everything together. We're just going to clean up that top edge a little bit. So we're just softly extending that brow. You don't want to get carried away, of course. And same thing underneath. You really just want to give a really nice clean edge and fill in their brow. And one nice thing to do at the very end is always comb your brow through. It takes any excess off and just blends it into your skin and makes it look that much more natural. And I think with Kat's look, because we've got a nice strong eye and we're going to keep the soft lip, a little bit of blush or pumping it up a little more might be a really nice option. And for daytime, we tend to keep it more on the apple of the cheek for sure. At night, you can go a little bit more sculptural and actually kind of work under the cheekbone a little bit. The other thing when you're using blush too is work with the tips of the brush. That's the working end of your brush, is the very ends. You don't want to push it into your face. Really have a light touch, and you'll get the nicest blending that way.